If you're like most small business owners, you're probably doing team meetings wrong. Here are 5 team meetings that I am prioritizing this year, and you should be too. So here's the deal. I get it. You are a busy small business owner and you don't see a point to meetings. Maybe you've done them. Maybe they've been ineffective, right? And you're wondering, why can't I just blast everybody on an email newsletter, right? And send it out. But you also know people don't read those. So it's not effective. Now, when meetings are done right, you will experience higher productivity from your team. You should be decreasing the communication outside of those meetings. So yes, having a meeting on a Monday should have less conversation going on the rest of Monday than on Tuesday, right? They should have gotten their questions answered. And it also will give you a clearer direction and more tasks getting done. Your productivity is going to shoot up and your team is going to start to be on way more of the same page, okay? Now, it's rare that it doesn't increase your direction and your tasks getting done. And it 1000% will lead to higher gross revenues. Okay. It makes sense. The more you get done, if it's the right activities, the more you should be making. All right. And I know 99% of you listening want that. Okay. Now, I have learned about team meetings from so many different people, and everybody has their list of what you should be doing, what's worth your time, what's not, etc. Okay. I'm not going to go through all of the meetings, but I am going to go through 5 that I would 1000% not be missing next year. Okay. And if you're not doing them, these 5 are a great place to start. The good news is it's not 5 a week. Okay. So don't worry. I'm not adding more to your plate that way. Okay. So the number 1 meeting you need is an annual meeting. Ideally, this is done at the end of November or early December. However, the second best time is today. All right. So no matter when you're listening to this, you just need to have an annual meeting. So if you're in May right now and you're hearing this, it is okay to say, we don't have annual meetings. Like, we didn't do this. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you kind of like reset and ask yourself, if it's May, what do I want to get done from May to the end of the year? Okay. So 1000% start with an annual meeting. Now, for me and my team, we just spent 2 full days together in person. So the business I'm specifically talking about is a remote business. And we flew everybody into town and we spent 8 hours for 2 days going through everything and getting everybody on the same page. Okay. So it wasn't just me figuring things out. It was the team challenging me, asking me questions, stretching me, saying, are you sure we can only do that? What if we did this? Right. So it really is a conversation. Now, some business owners don't even tell the team their goal. They pick the goal, right? And they don't tell the team. What you're missing out on is their buy-in, right? We need to make sure that the team is so bought in to what you want to accomplish and not just make it be your goal, but it starts to become our goal. Okay. So you could do this in a 2-hour session. You could do this virtually. You don't have to have it look just like mine. All right. But I do believe annual planning is a must. Okay. Number 2. Quarterly meetings. So after we have the annual plan, we immediately a week later, go into, and what are we doing Q1? So again, if it's May or June or July, it's okay. What's the next quarter look like, right? So you have the big annual and you go into quarter. Now for us, the quarterly meeting, because we just talked together for 2 full days, 8 hours each day. So that quarterly meeting really was about an hour long and it was virtual the following week. And every leader on the team talked about what they wanted to get done in their department over the next 90 days. Okay. So usually each leader is owning anywhere from like 3 to 4 projects. I will say I know one leader right now that has 2, and it's because his 2 are so big that it's going to be plenty of work for him to get done. Okay. So we're asking each department, what are you taking on? What are you owning? Okay. So we did this one. The second week in December, we started to really talk as a leadership team and say, what are we going to do in Q1? Okay. Then from there, meeting number 3 is a monthly meeting. Okay. So these monthly 100% can be virtual. So even with my brick and mortars, they are doing these virtually. You do not need to meet in person. Our monthly meetings are about 1 hour in length. Okay. So we are usually doing this meeting the last Monday of the month. Okay. We look at our quarterly goals and we decide what is happening month 1, month 2, and month 3. So if I'm a leader and I own marketing and I'm trying to do a specific, like I'm trying to launch a new funnel in Q1, I might say, okay, month 1, I want to get the funnel launched. I'm going to write the emails. I'm going to like design it, etc. Month 2 might be testing it, tracking KPIs every week, etc. Right? Month 3 might be dialing in and scaling those numbers and seeing it progress. Okay. So what gets really, really crystal clear very quickly is everything is trickling down from the annual, which is why you need an annual. I don't care when you're listening. It is time to do it now. Or maybe it's time to reset it. If you're like, I don't know that we did a great job, I think we could really refine it, then redo it. Okay. So with that said, annual into now what's happening in the quarter, now what's happening in the month. Okay. All of our goals are trickling down from those. Okay. The next one, this is again, just the one that I'm not missing, is our weekly leadership meeting. So I didn't say weekly team meeting. I said weekly leadership meeting. These are held every Monday. They are 1 hour. They are virtual. Okay. We do these right after our all company meetings. This is where we check in with each leader on the team and we get an update from every single department of where are you at on your 30-day goals. Okay. So when I'm like, what am I doing this week? I'm never confused because I go to my 30-day goals and I ask myself, what am I doing to get those 30-day goals done this month? The leaders will also ask who needs support, update on your department, share wins from your department, anything like that. Okay. So do you see how it's so much easier to hit your goal when you know the big picture and then you break it down and then you break it down even more, right? It's really hard for us not to make progress because of the way that this trickles down to each one. Okay. The 5th and final meeting I am not skipping is my one-on-ones. Okay. So I have 3 meetings per week with people that directly report to me. These are one-on-one. So the director of marketing meets with me, the director of operations meets with me, and then my assistant meets with me. Each of these people get like a 30-minute one-on-one virtual call. Okay. These are people that I am supporting, right? And it might be thinking, that might be an odd way to phrase it, especially with my assistant, because you might be thinking she's supporting me. I'm supporting her, supporting me. I'm like, what do you need to get that done? How can I help you get that done? What do you need from me so you can actually do the next step, right? Things like that. So I am meeting with them individually, one-on-one, once a week. I think it's really, really important that you are meeting with your direct reports. Now you might wonder, but why, Stacy, if you already have met with them as a group on Monday, can't they just talk to you then? Not all leaders are going to feel comfortable saying specific things in front of the rest of the department. Okay. It gives them a safe space to talk to me individually to address their concerns. We all know, like if you've got 4 people in the room, somebody's the loudest, somebody talks the most, right? Somebody has the most ideas. So they might win compared to the quieter person. By giving everybody a one-on-one, you're really going to have the opportunity to let them share and have their voice be heard. So I think these are really, really important. Okay. I have one more leader I didn't mention who reports to somebody else, but I actually meet with her once a month. So I want to stay really close and connected to my leader. So the director of customer success actually reports to the director of operations, but I specifically meet with Milan once a month. Okay. Now, here's what's crazy. We have way more meetings than the ones I just shared with you, okay, that are actually happening in our company. But I wanted to make sure you knew the 5 biggest ones that I would absolutely incorporate if you are starting from scratch. Usually when we have small business owners come in to well-oiled operations, sometimes they have one a year. Sometimes they don't have any. They haven't had one in years, okay? So starting from scratch is not as scary as it sounds, okay? Incorporating this meeting structure is going to be one of the best things you do for yourself and your business and your team, okay? Now, If you're in well-oiled mastery, remember the templates, the agendas, the structure, what we did at our team retreat, all of that is inside of the program. Okay. So don't start from scratch. Go in there, grab those templates and use them. All right. And if you're interested in learning more about our program, you can go to welloiledoperations.com and you can book a free consultation there. Bottom line, meetings are not a waste of time when you do them right. These can be one of the most effective things you do in the next 12 months. Don't wait to get started.